everybody. Today we are at Cora in Club Campestre in San Jose. It's a nice, really new development that just got underway. And I'm doing this video to introduce the people that are associated with the project. It's a project I really like. So we have Franco and Marcelo. Can you guys kind of introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about Cora?
Yeah, thank you for having us, Fletcher. So I think the best way to explain Cora and the location and why we chose this is for the people watching that are not really familiar with Los Cabos, is understanding that Los Cabos is made up of two towns. You have Cabo San Lucas and then you have San Jose del Cabo. We are located in San Jose del Cabo. So we chose this location because of its local feeling. You know, you have this beautiful old town, very Pinterest Mexican feeling town. You have beautiful hotels. Everything is walking distance. It feels very exclusive, very private, and it's a very family-oriented place. So yeah, inside of San Jose, there's a condominium called Campestre, which is where Cora is going to be located. The reason why we chose Campestre is because, again, of its location. You have the feeling of feeling secluded in the mountains, even though you are in the middle of everything, in a 4-kilometer radius from groceries to malls to schools to even the town. So that is why we chose this location.
Cool. And Cora is the second project that you guys have in Los Cabos, right?
Yeah, first, Fletcher, thank you so much for having us over. I'm here to show us one of our new developments from Grupo Habitat. And this is a firm that has been established back in 1982, and we have focused all of our attention into trying to offering the best projects at the best purchase price. And I think Cora comes in breaking new boundaries because, as you know, in the real estate market here in Cabo, there isn't a development under $1 million that has views, that offers 3 bedrooms, great architecture, breaking with the contemporary design that all Cabo has to offer. And as Marcelo was speaking, I think Cora comes in with a different approach and offers everything that is not offered. And I think we are sitting in a good product, and we're here to show it all and give you guys the best insights.
Yeah, and for people that aren't familiar with Club Campestre, it's an 18-hole Jack Nicklaus course. And in San Jose, just like Marcelo was saying, and there's really kind of a shortage of new quality condos in San Jose. So there's not too many price points that are equal to this project. It's kind of, and it's got the kind of like the Viceroy Hotel. You've got the mirror.
So that's one of the main attractions. Good thing that you're bringing it up. When people see the project, when people see the image of the project, maybe
it brings back to a lot of people just like remember, and a lot of people know Viceroy.
Exactly. So Viceroy is one of the staple places here in San Jose. So this image behind me, you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. So you have this beautiful mirror of water that gives you the sense of peace and privacy. Why? Because you have 20 meters of mirror water in front of your unit where you won't have anyone walking in front of it. So aside from that, it gives you this reflection of the same building that it creates. Aside from being a residential condo, it creates kind of like a piece of art. So imagine this building in the mountains with this beautiful mirror of water overseeing the ocean. So even though you are in the mountains and you're feeling secluded, you still have that oceanfront feeling. And that is kind of the optical illusion that we wanted to offer people up here in Campestre.
We're trying to create some sort of illusion that gives you that understanding of an infinity pool. So when you're sitting in your condo, you're gonna see your water mirror and it's gonna transition seamlessly into the ocean. So we were trying to give our condominium complex that feel of a house, more of a townhome feeling. We didn't want it to feel massive. It's a different approach than what we did in Viceroy. That's why you can see the buildings, they're shorter and it's more linear. We didn't want to break what's around it and show something massive because it is 128 complex unit in. We didn't want to give it that very big, wide structure. And It's very unique because it only has one elevator per 6 units, so it really gives you that kind of feel that you're not living in a massive
Yeah,
residential.
and I think with what you're saying, one of the main reasons and one of the main things is even though you are in a big condominium, because yeah, like you said, it's 128 units, you can't really see your neighbors because of the design that they made. So for you guys to understand better what I'm talking about, let me show you guys just the main render of the project and what it looks like, so I can explain what I'm going to say better. So it's basically 2 levels, like a staircase. You have 128 units divided into 2 towers. You have the Sunrise Tower, which is the bottom one, and then you have the Sunset Tower, which is the top one.
An entire section, 2 both long sections.
Exactly. From the top section, you won't be able to see the bottom section. Why? Because of that mirror of water. That is the optical illusion that we're offering with that mirror of water. You're blocking the whole tower in front of you, and you're only being able to see what's far away from you, which is a little bit of land and the ocean, which is the main attraction here. So that's what they're trying to do, that exclusivity that even San Jose offers you, you know? You want to feel like you are in your home, in your house. You don't want to feel like you're in a resort. And the architecture of this project offers you that. It makes you feel like you're only sharing a building with very few people, and it's just part of the experience that San Jose wants to offer to people.
Cool. Let's get on some of the amenities here. All right. First of all, you do have a Jack Nicklaus golf course.
Yes.
You've got a beach club. You've got a really cool pool gym area, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's an amenity center comprised of 10,000 square feet, 3 stories. So it's besides what Campestre has to offer, Cora is going to have its unique, personal set of amenities that only Cora is going to be able to enjoy.
Yeah, and just like you were saying, Franco, it's pretty rare to find like a 3-bedroom condo, brand new with a design like this for the price point. You know, golf course communities are starting to, you guys know this, push the barrier and go way up. So another thing is a lot of people want to know about the developer, and Grupo Habitat has been around for a while, like you were saying, Franco, so just some projects, track records, just some assurances so people can get to know the actual developer.
This really helps, and I've seen it in the sales aspect. Every time we greet a new client in, it's very important to show them tangible assets, tangible things that we've created actually within the area. And I think what really helps, especially here at Cabo, when you're dealing with clients that are foreign, it's that most of pre-construction developers around the area don't have any track record. And it gives you that difficulty when dealing with the client because they feel skeptical. And I always tell them, look, go to Viceroy, have a feel for yourself. It's there. We built it 10 years ago, and it's solid as a rock. And we also have in Cabo Maria. Maria is also a great development that we started about 4 years ago, and we're about to be complete. It's there, and we've done a lot of very interesting projects around the Republic. We have hotels in Acapulco. We've done multiple residential buildings in Mexico City. And we even decided to migrate into the U.S. back in 2012. We did a project near the Brickell City Center, and it was one of the tallest buildings in the area when we arrived. And it was very unique because nobody actually thought that we could achieve such a slim structure standing in 64 units when there's hurricanes. So I think something that really separates us from the competition is that we are passionate about design and construction methods and always finding that extra factor that nobody else could have found. And really what our main business pillar is to always be able to offer the best product at the best price. And since we are able to control all of the aspects of construction, we have our own construction team, we have our own design team, we have our own sales team, And by being able to own and operate every single step of the construction, we're able to actually control the cost. We don't have to actually, all the variables are controlled by our own firm. And I think that's why we're able to offer the best product at the best price in terms of competition. And we've been doing that for more than 30 years, and now we're migrating into the US business and playing by the rules, and it's great. I mean, we love it, and we are here by passion, and I think we're solid.
Nice. Alright, so this project is obviously Grupo Habitat. It's in the construction phase right now, right? And you know this, you have the first initial, and that's where, you know, you have the most risk. That level has already been sold out, right? Where are we in the construction phase right now, and what are just some timelines and things like that?
Well, we have a very interesting construction method right now. We're shifting away a little bit with the conventional construction method of block and rebar, because as you know, everything right now is in shortage, and the importation of steel raw bar is difficult. So we wanted to adapt and actually be able to give Cora a different construction type. We invested a lot in stainless steel molds. So it's like a form that you create and you just pour in concrete, much faster construction schedule. So we are ahead of schedule in our construction phase, and right now we're finishing everything. All the foundation slabs are going to be done, all our pads, including the walls and the roofs for all of our garages. So within 12 months from now, Fletcher, you're going to be able to come back to Cora and see our entire sunrise and sunset structure complete. So all of our clients in 12 months are going to be able to actually walk their unit as it's being finished.
Nice. Okay.
I think one important thing to add to that is that it's going to be two phases. So you have the sunrise phase, which will be completed in about 21 months, and then you have the sunset phase, which will be completed in 28 months. The reason being is that because of the design, by finishing first the sunrise level and being able to deliver those units to the client, and for them to be able to move in already, even though there's gonna be construction behind them in the sunset level, they won't be able to see it. So that is why we chose that as the first delivery to the client, for them to be able to get that Cora feeling already, being able to use the clubhouse, being able to live in Campestre, but don't feel like there's construction happening in their backyard. So, yeah, do you want to add something to that?
It's also something that clients are very happy about, because our amenity center, we're going to deliver it by the same time that we're going to finish the sunrise. So we're also going to give access to our clients that purchase the sunset to be able to come 8 months ahead of time and be able to use their amenities and start to feel connected and engaged with the development.
Nice. And how are the sales going so far?
So sales are going really well. We started sales in November. We took out about 70 units for pre-construction sale, from which we've sold about 60 up to date. They're flying. The prices have risen a lot, and we haven't even really started. You know, it's the construction. It's everything is just starting now. So we're probably going to see even bigger raise in prices from today on. So me and Marcelo actually had a guy, he actually pulled out because of the war in Russia. Was it in? We just had to be honest to him, like, hey, when you do come visit in 2 months, you do know that it's going to be a little bit higher. And that's the beautiful thing about pre-construction, is when you work with a reputable builder, it works out and you have a solid project. I mean, this is on a golf course, so from a risk perspective, it's really not, you know, like, hey, maybe there's like you can get scared that the project hasn't started yet, but you're already laying, and like you said, with the molds and everything, that construction's a lot quicker. Yeah. But this is just one of those projects that's following, you know, to the T. Exactly.
The price is rising.
And I think that is why it's important for people to know the development team behind it, you know, and for the clients that come here and want to see the presentation, want to get to know the project, I always tell them, do you want to meet the developers? They're sitting right there next to in their office. They're always here, you know, and that's a good sign. knowing that they're here and they're willing to show their face and talk to them and answer any questions, make them feel comfortable. At the end of the day, probably 90% of our buyers are international. You know, everyone hears stuff about buying property in Mexico. So of course, everyone wants to make sure that they're buying something that it's a safe product. And I think that is what Franco and Grupo Habitat offers to the client. Aside from a beautiful track record that they have, it's just that being here and doing this for passion and doing this, just having so much knowledge on this and being able to answer any questions for the clients and stuff like that.
I think it all comes down also as well. I think that's why I'm part of Grupo Habitat and why I admire our director so much. It's because everything that he just does it out of passion. You can tell. It's not about money. It's not about ambition. He just likes to deliver good quality projects, and he likes to be here and feel engaged with the clients. And I admire it so much that I feel that that's the way we want to keep the company growing, and having a good reputation helps you, because if you actually follow what you say you have to do in terms of pre-construction and start your prices lower so that people actually get your appreciation, they're not even clients, they're investors.
Yeah.
They're investing in your reputation, and reputation in the real estate business is the most important thing you can ever have, because it's there and it's going to stay there for an eternity, the building, and everybody comes by, oh yeah, these were the people that scammed us, or these guys are amazing, and we have to keep it that way, because that's the only way to keep your business growing.
Nice. You mentioned investors. I'm curious, actually, Marcelo, what percentage of like the buyers would you say are buying that are going to live here like full time versus like people that are just investing? You know, how are you seeing that play out?
And that's a funny question. I think a lot of people come here, most of the people come here looking for investments. That's how it starts. They hear about Los Cabos, they hear about the economy going on here with
They hear about the hype.
the hype, exactly. They hear about the hype. So they come down here, not having any interest in moving down, you know, just wanting to invest. But then they get to a project like this and they start talking here, like, well, maybe I can live here for 3 months out of the year. So mainly the people that buy here, everyone's coming down as an investment, but they end up deciding that they just want to move here, maybe live here a couple of months out of the year, which is perfect. But I would say that probably 90% of our buyers, if not 95% around there, are investors. They just want to, because they know that not only this project, but the location of this project, it's hot. It's an area that's very hot in rentals. It's an area that's very hot in appreciation, and it's only going up from here.
Yeah, I think every time I sit down with a client just to introduce myself, and I see them excited about their project.
Yeah.
And I've never seen clients be so connected and so engaged when it comes to an investment. Because I always see that they have this sense of, if something goes wrong, this is where I'm gonna live.
Yeah.
Like, just like what happened in COVID, when everything shut down, they go back and they remember, oh, if I would have had this investment, I would have stayed my entire pandemic ages in Cora. So it's interesting to see how people shift from their investment perspective into something that they would actually live.
Yeah. You mentioned we were talking about investors, but let's just say somebody who ends up buying as investment doesn't come down here. You know, I mean, both of you guys know this. It's very hard to find long-term rentals in San Jose.
Very hard.
I mean, it's hard in Cabo, but it's very much so in San Jose.
Yeah.
So if you bought this, you know, let's just say you got in the first phase, it's like, I see a lot of people do this. They might buy it, they could rent it out for like 4 or 5 years, and then 4 or 5 years something happens, another COVID happens, and they're like, hey, we want to get out of where we're at, and then it flips from the investment to more personal use, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And it is so true. I mean, I don't think there's a single condominium complex for rent within a golf course in the San Jose area.
It's impossible for you to find. Even here in Campestre, I'm telling you from experience, when I came down here with my family, I wanted to live in Campestre. I spoke to many agents, I spoke to many people.
We drove around.
Yeah, we drove around, just calling everyone, there's nothing. Most of them don't even answer, but there's just nothing for you. So by
people don't even want to rent long term because they know that
They want to come down.
yeah, they want to come down. They know that they can work from anywhere right now, remote. And I mean, if tomorrow they change their mind, they can come back to Cabo and enjoy their place. So it's hard to be able to find a long term rental.
Yeah.
So for investors, that's fantastic. Because if you're willing to actually rent it long term, you're always gonna have a tenant.
You're always going to have a tenant. So that is the main thing. So when people ask me, look, I don't care, I'm not going to go there, I have no interest in going to Los Cabos or living in Los Cabos anymore, I just want an investment. I want to have a property that's going to be rented, that's going to be bringing me cash flow every month. Well, then get a sunrise level unit.
There's
Why?
a unit for everybody.
Yeah, there's and whatever criteria you have for this investment, whether you want to live in it for a few months and then rent it for the next months, or you just want to live in it, there's an apartment for all of them. And something that I think we have to point out is that every single unit is the same. So every single unit is 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. So you're basically paying for the views. So if you want to live in it, then maybe you want to have a beautiful ocean view with a golf course view. But if you just want to rent it, then you don't care about that ocean view because people, how much more are people willing to pay for that ocean view? You know,
It's a premium. It's a commodity. If you're gonna occupy it, then the premium is worth it. If you're never gonna stand there and you're just looking at numbers and you're a numbers guy, then buy something cheaper.
Yeah.
I think Cora has the entire spectrum of condos that there's you can find a
There's
condo
something for everyone, you know, and you're talking about you can start investing for $140,000 all the way to $825,000. So even if you go to the highest unit, the most expensive one, you're still talking under $1 million inside a golf course condominium with beach club access in the heart of San Jose. I think you just can't find, when you're talking about competition, you know, people ask me like, what's comparable to Cora? I'm like, you tell me, please. I've been looking for something comparable to Cora. There's really nothing. You know, people tell me, I think this is overpriced. Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you for telling me that. I respect that. But compare it to something else then, you know?
Compare apples to apples.
Exactly. If this is overpriced, then what's not overpriced? Show me something in the market that offers you the size of this unit with the architecture and the design in a condominium like this with this amenities, with this location, at a better price. Because if there's something like that, let me know because I'm buying it. You know, it's just there's nothing comparable to Cora right now, and that is why we're doing so well.
Cool. Yeah, last time me and Marcelo spoke, we rarely ever keep our conversations on time, so we're already kind of over our budget here. But just to close it out, guys, solid project. Grupo Habitat, solid developer. Is this it for Baja, or do you guys have more plans, or what's the deal? You guys are here for the long term, or?
I think so. I think we feel very comfortable here, and we really like the way we can work. I mean, there's no traffic. We love the area. We fell in love with everything that surrounds the entire Baja, and I think we're going to be able to soon offer new projects and not projects that are going to compete with each other, but have projects that are in every different spectrum to be able to offer all our clients different needs. And I mean, I think we're going to be here for the long run, and we really appreciate everybody's support and faith in Cora and in us, and we're here for the long.